Do you think it's a good time in Winnipeg to purchase investment properties?
I gotta think about that one a little, to be honest.
How bad do you want an investment property?
Yeah.
I still think so, absolutely. I think you have to be a little bit more creative now for the numbers to make sense.
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily as easy as it was a few years ago. But like anything, it's a matter of getting into it.
Yeah.
And it's time, it's not time on market, it's time in the market. Like you're gonna look really smart 10 years from now if you bought this rental property.
20 years from 10 years. Yeah.
The best time to buy is always yesterday, right?
Yeah.
No matter what property you're buying.
If it's for you or an investment, right?
What I will say is I don't think it makes any sense to try and time the market when it comes to investing because people that try, they fail. It's honestly the most successful investors have kind of stumbled upon it, started buying, made sure the numbers made sense, did it at a pace that made sense for them, and they've held those properties, and that's really how you have to do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people too that would love to invest in real estate that I've talked to through the years that were always too scared and just never did it. And they say, oh, I should have done it 10 years ago. Do it now.
And they should have,
Do it now.
Is the best, because in 10 years, you'll be saying the same thing, right?
Yep.
So,
I think honestly too, like getting over that first hurdle, everything else is easier.
Yeah.
And Logan and I were talking about this yesterday. It was something different. It was about flipping properties, but like that first flip you do, that first investment property you do, you're gonna learn some stuff, but call it like...
You're gonna get some hard lessons.
It's hard lessons, but think of it as like paying tuition
It's education.
education.
It's an education you are gaining, and unfortunately some of it is trial by fire and getting comfortable.
And in 5-10 years from now, you still have that property and that investment.
Yeah.
You have that property, you have that investment, you have that knowledge now, and you have problem solving skills, you know what to look for, and it's not gonna hold you up from buying future investment properties.
Yeah, exactly. The hardest thing to do is pull the trigger, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But once you pull it once, it's easy to keep pulling it.
It's like you say, I think the same way is that if you have, I mean, if you want to invest in something anyways, it's a good way to invest money. Especially Winnipeg where things are fairly stable, almost always trending in the positive direction, especially for maintained, well-kept properties. So, I agree.
Oh, I thought you were gonna have like a weird angle on that one.
Nope.
No. But and I'm biased because I think Winnipeg is one of the best real estate markets out there in terms of stability. Like if you look at our stats over the last 50 years, property values in Winnipeg have only declined 3 times in each of those years. But then if you looked at the following year, the gain it made far surpassed the small loss that people made. And we're talking like 2% maybe, like on a loss here, like 1.5 to 2%. So.
But I think going in knowing your numbers, first of all, and your goals, because I mean, buying a property to hold on to it for the next 10 years as an investment is very different than buying a property today to sell in 3 months for like a profit.
100%.
For sure.
For
sure. Yeah, you have to know what your goal is, like you say, and you have to be, I mean, if you're in it to flip it, you've got to be good with your numbers. You've got to be.
They have to make sense. Yeah.
You got to be good with time. You've got to just. It all just, like Jen said, you have to figure out your systems, and you just have to make sure they work for you. Like if you are a renovator who wants to do a flip, your first flip might be a kick in the teeth. You don't know.
Oh, for sure.
But the only way to do it is to learn, and
And your second one won't be
it won't be as bad.
bad, right?
Yep. Or at least it shouldn't be. You should learn from mistakes.
You will always be learning. Let's be clear, but it's a hard lesson. As much learning each time. Yeah.
No matter though, it's like I always make the joke, like your math has to math for you.
Yeah.
Like your math has to math for you. And that might be different than someone else's math that is competing with you against the property.
For sure.
Or on the property, I should say.
Everyone's
But
circumstances are different and their goals are different. So
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
And an income property should be working for you, not working against you.
Yeah.
So if those numbers don't make sense, then no, it's not the right time.
Yeah. For sure.